guys, welcome back to the More Life Pod, where we're unlocking with more life with every listen. And today we have a special guest. Wait, AM. The AM. We in the building. Yeah. See, I caught myself. Alrighty. Well, today's episode is called Intune with Purpose, and what a better person to bring on than one of the hottest DJs in Houston.
Thank you.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Having a good time.
That's good. Definitely. Love that. So, for those who may not know you, who is the AM, and how did you start your DJ journey?
For one, my name is Austin. My name is Austin Mesa. I grew up in Houston. More specifically, I grew up in Sugarland. That's where I was born and raised. I have been DJing, or at least in the nightlife scene, for about 2 years, and I've been producing and making music for about 10. So yeah, music's been a part of my life since I was probably about like 4 years old, to be honest. I only started like creating when I was like 16, 17 years old. So yeah. Okay.
So you started producing, making music at 16?
Yeah.
Okay, check you out.
Yeah.
Early. That's early. Yeah. Okay. So you say you are from Sugarland. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So what is one song that made you fall in love with music?
I know it's like a lot of people's answer is gonna be Mike, but it's definitely gonna be Mike. And honestly, like from what I can remember, it was probably Bad by Michael Jackson. And I remember my dad had a DVD that had all of the Michael Jackson music videos on it, and like I would literally like nonstop be in the living room just putting that hoe on, just like watching all the music videos, fucking copying his dance moves and shit, and just like listening to the music. And Bad was just for some reason one of the ones that like stuck with me. And yeah, so definitely that one. I mean, there was definitely music that came after the fact that probably made me like really like fall in love more with music, but that was like probably the first like example I could think of from like an earliest memory. Yeah.
Okay. You know, I always see you behind the DJ, you know, set. So, you know, we're going to have to get you to bust a move. We're going to have to get you to Zion. You know, you already said he said he was dancing at 8 years old.
Nah, those days might be behind me, man. I'll leave that shit to Zion. Boys, man.
Alrighty. What is one moment that made you say, you know, DJing is something that I should be doing for the rest of my life?
So like I said, I had been producing music for quite some time. I think it was like 2022. I had started going to this bar in Katy called Ja Bar, and it was like an Asian inspired bar. One of my homegirls had put me on to it and was like dragging us out there because she also knew the DJ. And the DJ actually was Lonnie. Instagram is Lonnie Sounds. Go check him out. He has a party called Nights Like This, and it's incredible. And at the time, he probably had gotten his first one out of the way and had like one under his belt. And at the bar, he was DJing. And I was like, man, this guy is like killing it. So I came up and asked for his Instagram. And after that, I think it was probably like a couple weeks later, he had posted that he was doing another Nights Like This. And I think it was like the second one, maybe the third one. And I had dragged all my homies out, like, we got to go to this. And so we went, and it was incredible. It was this like underground party. It was hosted at this place called Options, which was like a vintage like clothes shop. Okay. And it was like in the back of Options, and it was like super intimate, like, you know, super low key, super intimate, small space. And it was just like a table, a DJ deck, speakers all around, and everybody was just surrounding the DJ, and he was playing shit that like you're not gonna hear in the club. This shit, like, you know, we used to go out all the time and just like fucking be wallflowers and like not do anything and pay way too much for drinks and just sit there. And so it was different. It was dope, and it was cool. And I remember I would watch him DJ, and because I had already been producing for a while, I like looked at what he was doing, and it kind of made sense to me. Because I understood like certain things. I understood how to read waveforms. I understood BPMs, and I understood a lot of that shit. And so it was like, oh, I could do this. I kind of see what he's doing. And so yeah, after that, like I literally told myself like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna teach myself how to DJ. And I had bought my first decks and just went for it. and just started teaching myself. And I had my first set in July of 2022. Yeah. And
Were you excited? Were you nervous?
I was extremely nervous. I was super excited, but I was extremely nervous. And actually, that's still accessible. that set is on my SoundCloud to this day, and I'm proud of it still. I'm still proud of it. I think I did a good job with it. Obviously, it was like a pre-planned thing. Like I had planned from start to finish the whole thing, which I don't do much anymore at all. But it was dope. It was a good time. I think it really opened my eyes to what DJing was like for real. And like even then, like I don't even think I was doing things properly back then either. So yeah, but that's what kind of got me started. Honestly, shout out to Lonnie. It was a huge inspiration for me watching him. It was a slew of DJs at the time. It was him, IDK Ryan, Double Dutch, Morgan, Big Ace, Hyperfem, like all of them, like being able to see these people like come up and then now being able to consider them to be peers of mine, like friends of mine that, you know, we all like reach out to each other and work together is really, really cool.
I love that. So how long did it take you to like figure out how to DJ? Like how long did it take you to get everything, I wouldn't say down pat, but at least to do your first event?
I would say there was like 2 moments that like I would consider to be like defining moments of like there was the first set and then there was like another moment later on that I like figured it kind of clicked for me like what I was doing wrong, what I needed to do right. And the first time I had bought my first board in December. No, like March. It was like March of 2022. And my first set was in July. So it was like 3-4 months later. So it took me about 3 months of teaching myself in my room. I did not really share it with nobody. Like I was really just in my room trying to figure out everything and putting together, you know, a set for later on that year. And then I had done a couple more events after that. And after July, and then I remember watching other DJs and how they were doing things, and I remember waking up one day, super weird. I like woke up and I like hopped on my decks and I was looking at them and I was just like, it just clicked. Like everything I was doing wrong just kind of like made sense to me, like why that wasn't the way to do it and how like I needed to attack it in a different direction. And so I would say like to get comfortable enough to understand that I have a good enough understanding of what's going on to where I'm not tripping if I don't know my next move. It probably took me about like 6 to 8 months. But to do my first set, like a planned, like pre-planned set, like 3-4.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Quick. Yeah, prior experience, you know, in some things. Okay. So what does music mean to you on a soul level?
Everything. Music is everything to me. I grew up around musicians all my life. My grandfather on my mom's side is a musician. My grandmother on my dad's side is a musician. My aunts are musicians. I have other family members that have been involved in music for a very long time. So it's like, it was always a thing. I mean, even Christmas parties and stuff, like one of the traditions that my grandmother always wanted was that we would sing like at Christmas Eve, because you know as Mexicans we always get together on Christmas Eve. It ain't about Christmas, it's the day before. So and that was like the biggest thing for us all the time. And my grandfather on my mother's side, like literally he had gigs. He still has gigs to this day. He still like goes and like plays music at restaurants and stuff. So it's been a very, very big part of my life since I was a child, which is funny because like my dad was super into sports. He's an extremely athletic person, and all of his kids wanted nothing to do with sports. And so I know he was just like, fuck. All of it. We all cared about like music and arts and everything like that. So it kind of just like skips generation, if you will, you know.
Understood.
Yeah.
So I guess like how do they feel about, you know, you having this love for music and actually being a DJ?
They're extremely supportive. I have been lucky enough to have been raised by people who genuinely want their children to just go off and do what they want to do within reason, obviously. Like, I remember when I was going to like community college for a little bit, and like I didn't give a fuck about it. I never cared about school. That was never something I was good at, never something I cared enough about. And I remember they like came up to me, they were like, do you like want to go to school? And I was like, no. Of course I don't want to go to school. And I was shocked that they were even asking me the question, because in my mind I was thinking like, I gotta do this, I gotta, you know what I mean? And like they were like, well, like if you're not gonna like care about it, don't waste your money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like go. But they were like, if you don't want to go, don't go. But also, don't be a bum. So like, you got to get your shit together if you don't go to school. So that was like the thing, was like the trade-off was, you know, if you want to pursue these things, that's fine, but make sure you got a job. Make sure you have shit covered. Like, make sure you're never like, you know, just mooching off of people or just like bullshitting. And so, like, yeah, I was working for a minute. It wasn't until like recently, like I think like 4 months ago, that I had went full-time creative. So yeah, thank you. But through that time, I mean, we're talking about since I was 19, 20, like I'd been working a job. I was working construction for the longest time, and I just now like quit that like 4 months ago to pursue all of this. But the entire time they've been super supportive. They've always been super supportive. I think they did a lot of the work that was required to be able to push us to do like what we wanted to do, you know, and I really appreciate them for that, because like that ain't always the story, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they've always been super supportive, and like to this day, like they love that I'm going after what I do. Again, it's always with a grain of salt. It's always with a hey, you better not be fucking up though,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you better be doing that shit. If you're gonna do it, go do it. Like I remember I had a conversation with my father about it, and he was like, if you're gonna do it, and like don't cut no corners, like do everything you possibly can. If you gotta leave motherfuckers behind, leave motherfuckers behind. Like, don't get caught up in trying to like, you know, be the nicest person and like, no, do what you need to do. Like, at the end of the day, this is about you. This is about what you are trying to build, like do it. So yeah, they have very, very strong support system, which I'm very, very glad to have.
Shout out to you, Pops.
Shout out to you.
Keeping his head on the swivel.
Man. Yeah,
all right, you know, like you said, you know, you've curated multiple different nights in Houston at multiple different venues. You got Afterworks at Ball Kitty, Arm Brews at Neighbors. You got Soul Touch at Neighbors. That's what got us hooked. That's what got us hooked.
Thank you.
You said Boondocks and some more places.
Yeah.
So can you walk us through the process of, you know, you creating these events, planning, and then executing? Because like, how do you go from idea to, you know, finished product?
Right. So a lot of it is, I think a lot of it always started as something that I was just trying to figure out. Like, I knew I wanted to DJ. Like, I knew I want to have a night that I can DJ and I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to have somebody telling me what they're expecting to hear out of me. And so I thought to myself, like, I needed to create different events for different things. And so like Crash Test, for example, which had started at Boondocks originally, is now at Ball Kitty every like second Saturday. And I'm blessed enough to be like doing that as a ticketed event. It's gotten to the point where like it needs to be, and it's great. But that event came about because I had a pretty strong desire to DJ a lot more of like high energy like club music. So anywhere from like Jersey Club, Baltimore Club, Ghetto Tech, like all of the underground electronic music that, you know, I got to witness becoming a bigger thing in Houston from my peers, you know, like some of the people I named earlier with like Hyperfem and Big Ace and Morgan and Amarji and Ryan and all them, like these people like that's their bread and butter. That is like, and they're all amazing at what they do, and being able to witness them do that and then eventually put me onto more of that music to where I fell in love with that music, and like I wanted to DJ that music and wanted to have a space where I could do that myself on my own terms. And so that's where kind of that came from. And I knew I wanted to do that, and I knew I needed to come up with something to like facilitate it. And that's like where Crash Test was born, where it was like the concept was like we're testing like new sounds and stuff. We're just throwing shit like, and I encourage like every DJ that comes in to like, hey, if you got like new shit you want to try out, like do it here. Like I don't give a fuck. Like, but within reason, mind you. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not expecting people to come in and do like dubstep or no shit like that, because I'm like, hey, that ain't my crowd. Like, don't do that. Like, you know, but experiment, do what you want to do, you know, and like giving people the space for that. And that's how it was kind of born. And then like the aesthetic of it all with the Crash Test Dummies and the logo and everything just kind of came with it. But yeah, and then executing it was just one of those things where, you know, I was looking at what I had on hand at the time. And when I started it out, Boondocks, I had a night at Boondocks that was already kind of given to me. And I decided I wanted to do it there. And that's where it started. And same thing for Soul Touch. It was one of those things where I wanted a night of like dance focused music, but you know, we can do whatever we wanted to do. You know, we start with a lot of house, with a lot of groovy shit, and then, you know, we always like throw in the rap music at the end of the day. And we have a fucking blast doing it. So
for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of it just like almost like I think like names and aesthetics and everything would come like secondary. The first thing was always more so like what I wanted to play, or what I wanted the energy of the night to be. Okay. And everything else kind of came after the fact. Like, how do we market this? How do we put this together? You know, and I say me, but like, you know, it's just like, how do I, you know, get all this wrapped up nicely into a nice little thing? And so, yeah. And I think ultimately I had put in enough time with my DJing and everything to be able to reach out to these venues and ask if I could do something there, and most of them would say yes. You know, Neighbors was something that like I had always wanted to DJ at, and I had gotten to one time right before Wine and Sage had left Neighbors. I had gotten to do it like the last one that we did over there, and then it wasn't until shit like almost over a year later that like I had finally sat down and talked to Zavi. Shout out Zavi. Shout and, you out. And told him that I wanted to DJ there and I wanted to bring something, and he was all for it. And that's how Soul Touch kind of started. So yeah, and that's like one of my favorite events I do, and it's been crazy because it's been such a gradual increase, and it's at a point now where like those nights are fucking crazy. Like
they are,
and like they used to not be. Like they used to be really chill. Like we'd play the same music, you know what I mean? But like we still had like a good time. But those nights were not like always insane. Sometimes it'd be like fucking 20 people in there, and that was it. But lately it's just been up, and it's really dope to see that like happen. So,
well, yeah, I think my first time seeing you was at Soul Touch.
Yeah.
We was already at Neighbors. She was like, "Oh, you want to stay?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So we stayed. When I say great time, I mean great time. It's called Soul Touch, and you definitely touched the soul.
I appreciate that.
You definitely touched the soul.
Thank you.
For sure. So I think it's one of my favorite nights, I would say. I like after work too at Ball Kitty. I feel like it's a more chill vibe.
That was so that one was after work came about because me and Splash had started DJing together more, and the owner of Ball Kitty had hit us up and was like, "Yo, I really want you guys to like do something here as a duo." And currently, I have my Thursday nights open, and at the time, it was like we were kind of standoffish about it because at the time 6s and 7s was still open. Okay. And Splash had Thursdays over there, so it was going to be an issue. Like if we had to like pull them away, and then lo and behold, 6s and 7s ended up closing. So it ended up being a thing where it was like, well, shit. Like now that you don't have that, we may as well do this, you know. And I remember we were chilling at the crib, like talking about it. And after work came up as a name, and it was just like, yeah, I like that. It's cool. Like we should do that, you know. And and I mean the whole like thing about it was like, we're playing rap shit, we're playing twerk shit, we're playing like we want people to fucking shake ass and have a good time. Like it's after work, like it's Thursday night, start of the weekend, you know, like
out.
Yeah, exactly. Like clock out, get drunk, and have a good time. Like that's like the whole point of it. So that was a super fun one. I love that event so much. We've had such a blast doing it. So
yeah, I think the first time I went by myself. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna start coming here more." I like that. I enjoyed the vibe for sure. And what's the name of the event that you have at Neighbors on Sundays? Is it Sundown or is it?
So both R and Brews and the Sunday Sundown sessions are both curated by Neighbors. Like that's like their events, technically speaking. I just happen to be like the main DJ with them, right? But the good thing about that is if I ever need to like not do those, I can always call Zavi and be like, yo, like I'm not making it because like I got this going on, I can't do it, and then he'll just find someone to sub in and it's fine, or I find someone to sub in instead. But with those, that was all brought to me from Zavi. Like he came up to me and told me he wanted to do these things, and it was like, I'm down. Of course I am. Like, you know, why not? And that's like, because Neighbors is like home base. Like that's just, I'm always over there. Facts. We're all always over there.
Right? It's funny that you said that because I just told Shania this earlier, and I was just like, I feel like Neighbors is like the creative hub.
Absolutely.
I feel like, you know, Zavi did a good job putting all the creatives in one space. Like I really feel like, you know, I was like, dang, I feel like I'm in like a TV show or a movie or some shit like that, because I feel like 90210 in here or something. Like, you know,
everybody's there.
Everybody got that one pub or something that everybody goes to or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
definitely become that, and I've really like enjoyed being a part of it and like being able to be as involved in it as I am, because it's just been beautiful. I've always loved the space. I've always loved just being there in general. But then to be able to be as involved as I am and connected as I am, it's been a very big blessing. So yeah,
I love that. Alrighty, so I want you to describe your DJ style in 3 words.
Okay.
It comes to tricky questions, you know.
In 3 words, I would have to say, exciting.
Okay.
Energetic. And good. Good. Just real good. Like, you know, like I a lot of times when people, if they compliment me or they tell somebody like, yo, this is one of like the best DJs, I tend to be real bashful about it. I'm like, oh, you gassing me. But every so often I'm like, nah, like I'm really like, I'm like that. Like I'm like that, you know, like don't get it twisted. Like I might be bashful sometimes, but nah, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. So yeah.
Now I went to Ball Kitty, I think it was the after work. I had went with some of my homegirls. We turned the function up. But what was funny was it was this girl, I don't think she's ever been there. I don't even really think that they were from here. And she was like, who was that DJ? Who was that DJ? I said, hey, let me put it in for you. Let me type it in for you. Yeah, they be looking for you. I swear, like, I don't think y'all notice it as much as we do, like being a part of the crowd.
Yeah.
They be trying to look for it. They be trying to find all the events, where you gonna be at next. I need to be where he at, because yeah, I like this type of function. So I definitely feel like you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
For sure. So, you know, let's bring up DreamCon.
Oh yeah.
You know, he had a DJ battle at DreamCon and he won, you know. So let's talk about that. Like, I guess, like, what was your preparation for DreamCon?
So that whole thing was pretty crazy to me, because like the guys that throw it, shout out to T.O. Fest, shout out to Jay Shep, shout out to Rye, shout out to all of them. They had approached me at an R and Brews. They had come out and they had told me they had been coming out to some of my stuff, and that they were doing a DJ battle, and that they wanted to know if I was down to be a part of it. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, sure, one. I had never done one, and I was like, yeah, I'm down. Like, fuck it. And it was interesting, because I remember, because like I didn't know who they were at the time. Like I didn't like look up their stuff, and I didn't realize that they had done like a previous one that had like went nuts. Like they had clips and stuff from it that went crazy viral, got millions of views and everything. I just knew that they were these guys that I would see on my stuff, and like they were really cool, and they would like always come up to me and give me props and stuff. So it was like, yeah, of course I'll do it, fuck it, you know. And so I remember when they told me it was for DreamCon, I like had a I had a thought in my head that I was like, oh, it's for DreamCon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be one of those, like, unofficial after-party type things. Like, but I was still down as fuck. I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'm cool. And then I remember the flyer came out, and it was posted by DreamCon. And I was like, oh, this is, like, there. I'm actually, like, this is actually going to be there. This is, oh, shit. Like, this is crazy. And so, preparation was the night before. The night before, because that whole thing was, everybody got 7 minutes. That was like it. Right? So the night before, it was me in my room trying to put together the best 7 minutes that I could. And I remember, like, Splash came into my room and he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna listen and, like, tell you what I think, like, you should do. And he had helped me with this one transition that I have to give him credit for, because like although I was the one executing it, like, he told me to wait like 4 more bars before bringing it in, and it changed it completely. And it was from Until the End of Time, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, into Inside, Steve Lacy. And I remember I was going to bring it in as soon as the hook started, because that's like what my brain tells me to do, is like, that's just the timing of things. But then he was like, no, wait till he repeats it a second time. And I did. And that was when, like, the guitar comes in on Inside as soon as Justin Timberlake starts just fucking belting out, right, with the second half of the whole, like, thing. And it was just, like, so perfect. And I was, like, looking at him, like, as soon as it happened, I looked at him, I was like, yeah, like, die, bro. Like, and that was, like, it was crazy. And then the rest of it, like, just going through it and putting it together, I would string together certain things that I already knew, like, had worked, like I had done before at other parties, like, figured out. But yeah, just kind of put it together and time myself, make sure, like, I could fit it all within 7 minutes. And for the most part, I did. The last song was not gonna, like, be able to play other than the first, like, 10, 15 seconds of the song. But I kind of liked that. I kind of wanted that to be the case, because then it was like
leaving it for more,
right? And leaving people wanting more, because it was like I had to cut it completely, and then people were like, like, you know, keep going. Like, I remember Chris, one of the judges, was like, no, keep going. And it achieved exactly what I wanted it to. So that was really dope to be able to do that.
That's good. So now I have a question. So I know, like, you prepared. Yeah. So just because you prepared doesn't mean that the crowd will react. Right. So, like, how did you make that connection? Or did you have a thought to switch some things up once you got up there?
Nah, the only thing I thought to myself was I was only going to switch something up if someone else played, like, multiple songs of what, like, I was planning on playing. And so I knew that, like, in my back pocket, I had other ideas that I could throw out and do. But other than that, like, I was sticking to my game plan. And, like, I guess, like, yeah, you never know, like, what the crowd is going to react to. But also, I think I had been DJing, like, long enough and been around these spaces long enough to where I knew, like, this shit was going to hit. Like, I knew it was going to sound good. I knew it was going to be good. I knew people were, at least, like, the judges were going to like it, which I didn't even know who the judges were going to be until I got there. And I was like, oh, like, it's Chris and Super J and all them. Like, I was like, oh, like, yeah, like, I know that they're going to like this at least. So, yeah, ended up working out.
I love that for you, because when I seen you, when I said, hey, check it out. So, like, what is the difference between curating a party and, you know, battling?
I think curating a party is more so based off of, like, creating an entire feeling or vibe or energy that keeps people there. I think that's, like, one of the most important things, because, like, for example, like, putting together, like, a battle is, like, you're doing things to essentially get a crowd reaction, right? Like, that's what you want to do. And, like, during a battle, you're trying to get, like, everything you can to, like, make people go, like, whoa, or, like, have some sort of, like, big reaction to what you're doing on stage. Versus an event is, like, trying to curate something that, like, keeps people engaged, keeps people there. You're not necessarily doing the most flashy things. You're just making sure that people are having a great time at all times. And so you may not be doing, like, the biggest things behind the decks, but you're having a good time and you're making sure people in front of you are having a good time makes them want to stay. I can't tell you how many times that I've had people approach me that were like, yo, we were going to leave an hour ago. But like, we were having such a good time, we ended up staying. I had my childhood best friend, shout out Brandon. He came in town from the military, and he popped up to after work, actually, one of the ones that we were doing. And he told me he was only going to be there for like an hour, maybe hour or some change, because he had to get up and drive the next day, like go back. And I remember I had like left him to go DJ, and at that point it was like it was like doing 30s and then back to backs or whatever. I thought he had left because it had gotten ridiculously packed in there, and so I was like, oh, he must have had left already, just couldn't say bye, like whatever. It was like 1:55. This man comes behind the DJ booth and dabs me up, and I was like, bro,
I thought you left.
I thought you left. He was like, bro, we couldn't leave. We were having such a fucking good time. And like that I think is the major difference between like curating a set versus like curating a night. Is like just not only making sure people are having a good time, but also having a good time yourself. Like if you're having a good time, people feed off of that just like how you feed off of their energy behind the decks. Like it's just like it's a mutual thing. And I think that's how like you end up creating or curating an actual like event or space for people to really enjoy themselves.
Okay. Now I done heard, to your fist, they're giving out a big prize money, giving out big money, big money. So, are you, headed to the face-off?
Yeah, I will be there in December. I'm very excited about it. I'm a little nervous about it, but I am just trying to prepare what I would think is going to be like the greatest set I could possibly play. When the stakes are that high, it's like I may as well. I may as well just do exactly like anything I possibly can, especially because like no one who also was involved, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who are going to be DJing are people who have already won previous battles, and I know they're all crazy. So I'm like, I gotta come with it for real. So yeah, for
sure. I was after the last battle. I said, I'm scared for the DJs.
Dezo
like, who's
crazy.
going to DJ?
Shout out to Dezo. Dezo's insane. Like that man's crazy. Like I'm scared of that man.
Look, I was clutching
I'm scared of that man. I can't wait to DJ alongside him, but I am scared of that man for sure. In a battle setting, absolutely. But it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a good time.
I think that's gonna be very interesting. I'm excited. I already bought my ticket. I hope y'all bought yours and go get yours right now. But I was like, they both be glitching. Like, Dezo, he'll hear something in his head, and you be so quick with it. I said, I don't even know who or how they're gonna, come to a winner. It's hard. I'm scared of both of y'all. Every time you touch that deck, I be, wait a minute, I don't know what to do. I be up here clutching my pearls. I think my favorite transition, I got two. One was the Proud family. I said, what? That was at Blake's event. I said, wait a minute. I said, I wasn't even supposed to stay here this long. But he didn't play that. Oh yeah, we gotta go to something else. Okay, that was one. And then I think I don't know. I feel like it's so many good ones. Like whether it's your transition from old school to new school, and I be like, wait a minute now, how you put this together? How you think of that? Now I'm up here trying to figure it out. But you do a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Alrighty, so we got some fun questions for you. Alrighty, so if you could open up for any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Any artist, dead or alive?
You could resurrect them.
I feel like,
and if it's not an artist.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. It's like opening up for an artist as a DJ would be is something that I'm absolutely down to do. But if in a dream scenario, I feel like I don't think as a DJ I would want to open up for an artist. Like I feel like I'd want to open up for another DJ. I think I can think of a few. I don't know if I can give you one. I can give you like three.
Okay.
I can give you like three DJs, and I'm like, if I could open up for these people, I think I would like be very happy if I could do like have that opportunity.
Okay.
I think there's this one guy named Miles Medina.
Okay.
Incredible DJ. Absolutely incredible DJ. That man is a absolute monster on the decks. I think him. I think Zach Fox. I would love to open for Zach Fox. I think that would be so cool. I think I'll just have a really good time doing it. And then I would have to say probably Dead or Alive. I would have to say if I could somehow get the opportunity to open up for DJ Screw, that would be amazing.
Hey,
not to say that
that's a good one.
there's definitely, like, I would even fully admit that there's people in this city that are much more deserving of that. But I think that, like, in this dream scenario, that would be really cool. And I could really, like, have fun curating something to really, like, go into whatever it is he was doing. So
I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that, especially because you're from Houston.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's one guilty pleasure track that you feel like would shock people?
Guilty pleasure track.
That's on your playlist.
Yeah. You talking about like one that I would play or one that I listen to?
I guess we could do one of each.
Okay. One that I will play and have played sometimes. It's very seldom that I bring it out. But what's the fucking name of the song? We Can't Stop Miley Cyrus.
Hey.
Straight up. Yeah. And you know, every time I have played it, it's very seldom that I play, but every time I have, it's went fucking crazy. So that's a guilty pleasure like DJ song that like playing that shit is just a lot of fun. And then listening wise, guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure listening wise, for sure is I'm Gonna Miss Her, Brad Paisley. 100%.
What?
In that 2000s country bag. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Okay.
100%. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Never would have, thought you were a country man.
Oh yeah, no, I thought, man, I tell you what, man, Tejanos, man. We fuck with our country music. So growing up, I listened to a lot. So I got a lot of that in my background that I just don't play often. For sure.
Alrighty. Okay, and my last fun question. What's one off the wall or ridiculously funny thing that has happened to you or that you've seen while DJing?
Off the wall or ridiculously funny thing.
Like, I know you've had, like, seen something, it's like, oh shit. Like, let me turn my head, let me mind my business, or oh shit, did anybody else see that? Like,
I have two. There's one where there was this girl that was like clearly, like anybody looking at it, like would be like, clearly this girl is with this man. Like that is her man, right? And we were all like, okay, like whatever. Like, and yeah, she was like drunk and like, dancing on him, whatever. Like, it's like, cool. And then like, I remember DJing for a while, and then whoever I was doing DJing with like tapped me. They're like, look, I looked up. She was dancing with a whole nother person, like making out with them and shit. And the dude was just standing there, like,
hey.
and I was just like, damn, that's insane.
He
and
was
like,
sick.
I'm facilitating this. Like, I'm making this happen right now. This is crazy. Other than that, a whole lot of phones on heads. Like,
Hey,
play this, play this. The amount of times that someone has like came up and said, play this while I'm actively playing that artist already is crazy. Like, people don't really know what the fuck they're doing half the time. Or they're asking me to play something that is like, I remember like recently I was in a Chicago drill bag. Like I was playing Chief Keef and like going stupid, like, and having a great time doing it. Everybody else was just jumping up and down, having a blast. And I saw someone's phone up in the sky saying play Vibes Cartel. And don't get me wrong, I fuck with Vibes Cartel. But you can't tell me that wouldn't immediately fuck up the vibe if I just like went and just completely changed it to Vibes Cartel. Like, what are we doing? Like, that kind of shit just blows my mind. Like, I'm just like, you think you know better than me? Like, what I'm doing?
Do this for a living.
Like, come on, bro. Like, yeah. Other than that, though, I don't know. Like, I also don't, because I use Recordbox, which is a program that's geared towards like those standalone boards that have a screen on them and stuff. Mm-hmm. My head is always down.
Yeah. So you're not really looking up
too much. I'm not really looking up too much. Like every so often I look up. You know what? I do have one. I don't know about funny, but impressive and amazing. Shout out to Cliff. If anybody knows Cliff, you know Cliff is an amazing person. You know Cliff is an amazing, fun time to be around. I remember at 2 Soul Touches ago, we was over there.
2 ago.
And I was playing Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe and having a great time. And I looked up and this man hit the splits on everybody. And it was absolutely insane. Then only to find out like the next day or a couple days later, talking to him about it, he said he had never done that before in his entire life. And that he attempted it for the first time right then and there. And he did it. Down and back up. It was crazy. Like,
you know, I think
insane.
Soul Touch is the place where you could just be trying shit at. Because I ain't gonna lie. I think the last time I went, I almost flew across the room. I said, ooh, shit. Okay, nobody did it. And I'm over here like, oh my God.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I hope somebody catch me. Ain't nobody, I don't know if I caught myself or Shania grabbed me. But I was like, ooh, I just hope I don't land on the Then I was like, okay, I keep going to this man events and I keep doing dumb shit. And I'm like, I hope he is not at home talking about me.
That's all I want though. I want everybody to just be doing dumb shit. Like I want everybody to be out their body when they at my events and just having a good time.
It's crazy because I only had one drink. But, you know, for some reason at your events I end up flying for some reason. Like, I don't know. I almost be ready to hit the float. What's going on, bro?
I don't know, man.
Let me know. I don't know. It's the music. I don't know.
I wish I could tell you. I just, you know.
Take it back a notch.
I just do what I do.
Alrighty. So what can we expect from you next?
Currently, I'm trying to elevate my events more. I'm trying to reach out to more DJs and more acts that I can bring out that I think will be like a treat for anybody who's already a fan of the events. To just enjoy themselves and have a good time. I think at the end of the day, it's important to keep elevating what you're doing. Otherwise, it's just going to fall to the wayside. Just, you know, cycle out. So I don't want that to happen. So I definitely am working on some ideas. Other than that, just more content, a whole lot of more content. I need to get on that. That's something that I am not the best at. And every single one of my peers and people that care about me have been on my ass about is more content, more content, more content. I have plenty of set recordings and plenty of videos that people have sent me of like videos of me DJing that like are sitting on my phone that I'm just sitting on that like I have not seen the light of day. So I need to do that more. I think that in itself will also help me elevate my events because it will garner more attention, therefore garnering more attention from not only people that want to go, but also people that can possibly DJ it and everything. So just a whole lot more of me in general, I think I should say. Yeah. So
I'm gonna ask you a question. This is for anybody that wants to DJ or is, you know, up and coming. How can other upcoming DJs build their brand or energy like you have?
Okay, so I genuinely believe that like Houston especially, like I can't speak for any other city of how they operate or anything, but I know if you are somebody who wants to DJ in Houston and wants to get their footing and wants to get their foot in the door, Houston is a very big, especially in the underground scene, is very community focused. And you like if you ever like enter this community, you'll come to learn that everybody knows each other. Everybody knows each other. Everybody goes to each other's events and supports and everything. And it's such a big thing. And we all do it because we all want the same thing. And I think for anybody who's just starting out, like, I can't tell you how to DJ. I can't tell you what to do behind those decks. I can't tell you how to do any of that. But what I can tell you is that what will take you far is going out and genuinely supporting other creatives. Like, and I don't mean going over there just to see if you can get an opportunity to get on an event. Like, going out there genuinely just having a good time, making yourself seen, and then eventually connecting with these people on a personal level, not necessarily on a business level. Because a lot of my gigs that came for me whenever I first started out was just me showing up to people's shit and like hanging out, having a good time, you know. And then eventually it's like, you know, we might meet, or I might say, yeah, I DJ too. Like, oh, cool. Like, and you know, most people aren't afraid to be like, oh, what's your Instagram? You know, now they know that you at least DJ and this is what you do. And then the more and more they see you, like, oh, this is like someone who actively supports my shit. Like, you know, they might not offer you an immediate opportunity, but you never know. You may look up one day at one of your gigs and they're there. Yeah. And that's what happened to me with a lot of people I work with now. It's like they were just showing up to my shit because I would show up to theirs. It's very much so I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And so like the biggest thing is just supporting others and do it from a genuine place. Like, if you genuinely like what somebody's doing, go there and have a fucking good time. Like, just have a good time and talk to people and be real with people and just be like cool. Like, and don't be so opportunistic. Like, that can really kill a lot of people's view of you. Like, a lot of times it's like, you know, you could, and don't get me wrong, I understand the concept and mindset of closed mouths don't get fed, and I totally understand, but there's like a line. It's like, absolutely, like, speak for yourself and do like what you can to get your own opportunities, but then don't be too pushy with it. Like, don't be down people's throats, like asking for things or whatever, because it just like rubs people the wrong way. And then a lot of times they don't really want to give you opportunities. A lot of times if you're just a chill person and you go out and you support, more often than that support comes back to you. It may not be immediate, but it's going to. And that's definitely what I would say like would help out a lot, is just like popping out more, showing to more things, showing support. That is like a very, very, very big overlooked thing when it comes to people trying to get their start. So yeah,
I can definitely agree. I can definitely say a lot of people that I have had on my podcast, I have, you know, went to their events, you know, but I feel like at first, like, it didn't start as scouting. Like, it just, I wanted to go to R&B game night. Me and my cousin, we did a run the whole summer. I don't think I interviewed Jay until October of last year. And I was just like, I asked him, you know, hey, DJ, he's like, we gonna do it. I'm like, all right, cool. But I'm not really pressing the issue because I'm still enjoying the time. I'm gonna have a great time. Zion, he recorded the video for me, whatever. Then some time passed, he became a guest. Talented Ones. I think I met Ryan on TikTok and I seen him in person, and then we got cool, and then I interviewed Talented Ones. Yeah. So it's like more so like, just be cool with people. Don't be weird. Right. Don't be weird.
And like you said about how, like, with the Super J thing, it's like you, like, your possible opportunity to work with these people has nothing to do with your support for what they do. Yeah. And like, that's what it needs to be. Like, these are very separate things. Yeah. Right. It's like your support for somebody should have nothing to do with what you think you could get out of them, or what opportunity you think could come your way if you work with this person. It's like, nah, support them because you support them. Don't support them because you think you're gonna get something out of it. Because more often than not, people gonna sniff that shit out, and they're not gonna want to fuck with you at all. So, like, yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, so I got 3 last questions. Okay. Alrighty. What's a lesson DJing has taught you about life and people?
A lesson that DJing has taught me about life and people. I would say one of the things, I don't know if this is necessarily that it like specifically taught me, but more so like drove in the point more of how everybody's on their own path and experiencing different things, a lot of the same things, and how like people are just oftentimes trying to just enjoy life as much as possible, and being able to be on the giving end of that in these spaces has been such an interesting and unique blessing to be like, oh, like I get to facilitate people having a good time and forgetting about their problems, their issues, their worries. And I think that's something that has like kind of molded my brain into a sense of like, okay, like we're all out here running from shit. Like,
yeah, for
even
sure.
me when I'm DJing, if I'm ever going through something, like that's my escape, you know, like, you know, this person's escape is going to an event. It may not even be my event, just somebody's event, you know, whatever. Or just going out in general. My escape happens to be DJing and doing all this stuff, you know. Other than that, I think it's also taught me a lot about like how people interact with each other in a not necessarily the most positive way all the time, but it's definitely opened my eyes to a lot of like really weird behavior by people. And I mean, especially like witnessing it from behind the DJ booth. And like I remember like before I ever entered like the nightlife scene, like, you know, going out with my friends, of course, like on our minds while we're out is like, you know, like, oh, like you just like get some bitches, like, you know what I mean, like whatever. But like as soon as I entered the nightlife scene and started DJing more and started being around it all the time, like it's wild to me to see people operate that way. It's so crazy. It's like, can you relax? Like, you calm down, bro. Like, geez, like,
you're a horn
I
dog.
I have so many homegirls that like genuine friends of mine that like I'll be like out and like I'll go say hi to them and there's some dude like standing next to them that's like actively trying to mac, and like I'll just say what's up, you know, whatever, and dude is like staring me down and I'm like, all right, man, like
calm
this
down,
is my friend, like I'm not even like, hey, as long as she ain't got no problem with you, we good. Like, you by all means. I know who she is as a person. I don't want no parts, I promise you. But yeah, no, definitely taught me a lot more about the inner workings of like people and how they operate, how even I like may have like used to operate back then, you know. And so definitely just like respecting people a whole lot more and just like understanding that everybody's just on their own path and doing their own thing, and like not everything has to be so sensationalized and like everything like that. We're literally just all here just trying to make it by. So,
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Katie, so what does more life mean to you in this season of your journey?
You said more life?
More life.
More life.
More life.
More life. More life to me in this season means honestly experiencing and romanticizing the more mundane things. I feel like I've been on this journey for so long and focusing so hard on the stuff that I do that I had definitely, I don't want to say forgotten, but neglected the beauty of like the smaller things that I used to hold very dear to me. Like the small like hangouts with friends that don't have to be some sort of big event, some big function, some big thing that we have to go to because it's a poppin' thing to go to, you know, like literally going out and getting coffee with one of your friends, to that be the only thing that like is planned. Is just like, we're just gonna go get coffee, hang out and have a good time, or we're gonna go to the park and just walk around and talk
and touch grass
and be outside and like all of that, like just little things like that. I think to me is very much so like that's what I think of when I think of like more life recently. It's just like more so things that are very disconnected from what I now consider to be work. Also my passion, also everything I love, but also it's still work. And like this stuff is like I want to hold it closer and more near and dear to like my heart and what I want to do. So yeah.
Okay, I like that. So at the end of the day, what makes you keep choosing this life?
I would say there is nothing in my life that gives me the feeling that this does. I genuinely love it for what it is and what I do. Like I genuinely love it. Like every time I go and step behind the decks and DJ, sure, there's times where I have a gig that I didn't like very much, whether it be my own performance or the clients that I'm working with. But the vast majority of the time, I would probably say like 90% of the time, I absolutely love what I do, like through and through. And so I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's so interesting. I love to hear it. But I said it all the time you play. Like, you can definitely tell the difference between somebody who just coming for a check and somebody who's, you know, doing this because they love to do it. But yeah, I enjoyed you, you know,
Thank you.
You know, you finally made it happen.
Yeah.
That's a story
After
within
a couple
itself.
attempts, but yeah, we finally made it happen for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, see you guys later. Where can they, follow you at?
Follow me on Instagram at Wake Up the AM, all one word, all lowercase. For future reference, as a DJ, I go by the AM. Full stop. That's just what it is. I know the Instagram can be confusing sometimes, but I just go by the AM. Instagram's my main hub. TikTok, Wake Up the AM as well. Trying to post on that more if y'all would like to see it. But yeah, everything I do is always on Instagram. I promote it the most there. So if you want to find me there, you will find all of my events, everything that I'm doing, one-off gigs, wherever. That's where you can find me.
Okay, one last thing. Tell them the nights you outside, that you DJ, they need to come pop up, All
right, so the most consistent things you'll ever find me at is every Thursday, except for the last Thursday of the month, I am at Bald Kitty with one of my best friends, Splash. We have our event called After Work. It is rap music, turn shit, booty shaking, whatever you want. A nice unwinding event for you to start your weekend off after you clock out of work. Every Saturday morning, I'm at Neighbors for R&Brews. It is a R&B/coffee event. They also still be serving alcohol during that time and have food and everything. It's a very good time. Jazz knows all about it. She's always there supporting, having a good time, So I have that every Saturday morning. And every first and third Saturdays, I am at Neighbors at night with my event called Soul Touch, which you heard us talking about.
And he be touching souls.
I be touching souls. Pause. So we be having a good time. We having a great time. These are the most consistent things you can find me at. And every second Saturday, I'm at Bald Kitty with Crash Test. That is a ticketed event, so that is something you do have to pay for, but it is well worth it, in my opinion. So, yeah, check me out.
Alrighty. See y'all later.
See y'all.